You're watching Law and Crime. Good to be with you this evening. Aaron Keller along with attorney Terri Austin. Good to see you here with us as well. We're talking about a couple of cases here. We're going to talk about the Kellen Winslow, the second case here on Law and Crime. That's the case of the former NFL player accused of a series of sex crimes. He is facing a potential verdict anytime in the state of California. We are waiting to see if jurors come back with that verdict tonight or if deliberations will pitch into a second day. Meantime, though, we're listening to live testimony in the trial in Texas against Brenda Delgado. She is accused in a love triangle murder for hire plot. This is some of her interrogation. She wanted the new girlfriend of her ex-boyfriend dead, according to prosecutors. Attorney Terri Austin is with me here on Law and Crime. Terri, we're listening to the interrogation here, but the underlying accusations here are really serious, and the testimony in this case has been incredible.
It's frightening, actually. The girlfriend didn't know what was coming, and she was shot. And here we have the defendant, cool, calm, and collected. And she's not telling her story. The interrogator is trying to get that out, but she's making him ask question after question. It's really frightening. Okay,
so why do the interrogation then if you're just going to force the interrogator to ask questions other than to stonewall or stall or frustrate? At least that's what the state's probably going to say. But at the end of the day, she doesn't have to be sitting there saying anything to any investigator.
That's right. But I think he's looking at her demeanor, the way she's talking to him. She looks as though she's trying to hide something. She's not being forthright. He is also trying to appeal to her religious self and to her desire to be honest, or at least that's what she told him. So we'll see if it works.
We're going to take a break here on the Law and Crime Network and be back with more live testimony in the Brenda Delgado case. The victim here, Kendra Hatcher, a dentist who was shot and killed. We're talking about this case and, of course, another case, the Kellen Winslow case out of California this evening. Okay, we're listening to live testimony in the case against Brenda Delgado, the Texas woman, rather, who is accused of killing her boyfriend. Bottom line here, I'm listening to this discussion and I'm thinking, why is it that we're injecting religion into this, and why is it that she's saying, well, I'm a Christian, I'm telling the truth?
I really think that she's trying to make the interrogator believe her. And he's actually using her religious beliefs to get her to tell the truth. And he's saying things, I think, in a very good way, saying like, other parents have to get some rest and some peace to know what happened. That's why he's doing all these questions. So I think he's got a good technique going.
Okay, I'm remembering that case from law school where, what is it, the Christian burial speech, and the court overruled the conviction and turned around and said, this just goes a little bit too far from what a normal interrogator should be doing.
That's true. If he goes too far, it might not be able to use it later at the trial. But I think so far his technique is strong and good and will hold up. We'll see if she starts to make any admissions. So far, she's sticking to her guns.
I wonder how late they're going to run along here because, of course, this is Texas. It's approaching 5 o'clock, and they have quite a substantial quantity of this interrogation to go through. How late might they keep it going? Stay late? Push it into tomorrow? What do you think?
Well, he's got to look at her constitutional rights. He can't keep her forever. He has to give her an opportunity to eat and drink and use the restroom. And he also has to give her an opportunity, if she wants to, he has to give her the right to seek counsel. So right now, he's just trying to get as much information as possible.
You're talking about the interrogation. I'm talking about how late the jury's going to go here. Because they're pushing rather late into the evening there in Texas. But we have this case live. We're also talking and waiting to see if we're going to wind up getting a verdict in the Kellen Winslow case out of California. So we have all of that on hold, and we're going to continue to monitor both those situations here at Law and Crime to see exactly which comes first, the end of the day in Texas or a possible verdict in the Kellen Winslow case. Of course, the jurors had a question earlier about the fitness data in that case. We'll talk about that as the evening progresses here on Law and Crime. Crystal Cortez, the getaway driver, injecting with heroin, plot to kill the new girlfriend. Attorney Terri Austin. This is incredible testimony, and it's coming out of the mouth of an admitted co-conspirator. So the question here, I guess, is she telling the truth, or is the jury going to buy the defense argument that she's lying, trying to implicate Delgado, the alleged mastermind, on the big stuff? And evade her own discipline, one should say, on the big stuff?
She's telling the truth. And I think the jury is going to think she's telling the truth. And the reason is this. What's her motive? It's clear that the defendant had a
lighter
motive.
Sentence? I don't know. I
Maybe.
mean, that's what they're going to try to say.
Right, exactly. But I think the defendant has motive, opportunity, and means. And I think here, Crystal is implicated. She's driving, and there's the hitman, and it's a perfect triangle, actually, when you think about it.
Exactly, exactly. I think the jury is going to believe this testimony because it's not just Crystal Cortez. It's a number of other friends and family members who got up there and rather reluctantly, in many cases, said, Brenda Delgado wanted me to play a role in this plot. That's what they all said. All the witnesses lined up in this case. More testimony now from Crystal Cortez, the getaway driver who admitted her role in this case. Attorney Terri Austin is still with me here in our New York studios. Terri, I'm struck by just the sheer insensitivity ricocheting off the walls as we listen to this testimony. It's a plot. We have multiple witnesses saying it's a plot. We have phone records that eventually came in, and they're just saying, oh yeah, inject her with drugs, scare her with a baseball bat, a softball bat, something. Oh, shoot her, and then we'll just pay people off a couple grand, a car, drugs. I mean, come on.
I know, they're making life look not worthwhile. And the small amounts of money, she just testified that she was paid $500. And the hitman was paid a small amount of money and drugs. And, you know, obviously life is worth far more than that.
Exactly. Okay, this is a very strong case for the state. That's why they've already got one person, the trigger man, on death row. And they've got this woman locked up for, what is it, 30 years or something for being the getaway driver. Now they're trying to get the mastermind. And it's rare that we see a case that's quite this strong for the state. We do see them, though, and I think this is one.
I think this is very strong for the state. You've got all these witnesses. They're corroborating the stories. They're saying the same thing. And it makes sense when you think about it, that she has the motive.
It all adds up, exactly. We're going to take a break here on the Law&Crime Network, and we're going to switch gears after that and talk about the prosecution in California of Kellen Winslow II. He is the former NFL player accused of a series of sex crimes. Jurors deliberating in that case into the evening. We're keeping an eye on that courtroom to see what comes next for that defendant. We will be right back.